high school football game of the week tonight from Bailey Stadium in Concord, North Carolina. It's the battle for the bell, the battle for the SBC championship as the Concord Spiders meet the A.L. Brown Wonders of Kannapolis. A pleasant good evening, everyone. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane, and you're watching what a part of the hardware that's up for stakes tonight, Woody.
Well, it really is. The battle for the bell. It's a 67th annual renewal of this bell, but there's a little more on the line tonight. If Kannapolis wins this game, it's going to probably throw things into a three-way tie for the championship in the SBC. If Concord wins tonight, they get the top seed outright.
And, of course, East Rowan is in the playoffs as well. It's just where are they going to go, 1, 2, or 3. Also, it's come down to a share of Kannapolis wins. They're co-champions. Kannapolis and Concord have played for the last 6 years. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, you know, it's really interesting, Randy. The home team has not won this game since Kannapolis did it back in 1992. It's kind of a strange thing. Remember a couple of years ago, we were here at Concord. These two teams came in here with high-powered offenses. It turned out to be a 5-0 game. It's one of those affairs where truly anything can happen.
Of course, we had about 8 inches less of rain, too, tonight. As far as tonight's concerned, a lot of folks talking about a defensive battle. I think it's going to be a track meet and two explosive ball teams offensively.
Well, they really are. You mentioned the defenses. Both these teams are giving up around 8 points a game. But on offense, in the Kannapolis backfield, you got a couple of 1,000-yard rushers. Of course, everybody knows about Nick Maddox. He's got about 1,800 yards rushing. He can take a kickback anytime he touches it. You've also got Tron Brown, who's got 1,000 yards on the ground. For Concord, on the other hand, you've got Jamie Scott, who's having a fine season in his own right. However, you also have some explosive threats at the wide receiver spot. Gary Black, it seems like every time we've seen Concord this year, he has a long touchdown reception just about every game. Monta Posey's having a big year for Concord. So I really think the key tonight, since both teams have strong running attacks, is going to come down to which team is more effective with the passing game.
Plus, a lot of seniors out here playing their final finale, and maybe the intangible, which one wants it the most. We'll be back with more pregame for Concord and Kannapolis coming up next. 67th renewal of the series, one of the most colorful rivalries in the state, just a few minutes away from getting underway. Concord leads the series 36-26. There have been 4 ties, and earlier Steve Gant had a chance to talk to one of the guys who coaches the inside linebackers for the Brown Wonders, Jeremy Ryan.
Thanks, Randy. Caught up with Jeremy Ryan. I tell you, Jeremy, all the way from Ohio to see this ball game. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're one of the coaches over at A.L. Brown. Big crowds. Have you ever experienced anything this big before?
I've never been around anything, been a part of anything like this, but I've watched high school games. They're pretty popular in Ohio, but I'm excited to be a part of this. This is going to be a unique opportunity.
You know, Jeremy, I think everything's been written, everything's been said that can possibly be said about tonight's ball game. Any last-minute thoughts?
I think we need a good start. I think we need to be aggressive in the beginning. I think we need to get after it from kickoff to whistle.
You know, I don't believe you've been here long enough to witness a Concord-Kannapolis ball game, whether it's at Concord or whether it's at Kannapolis. It's always a big crowd. It's always the talk of the town. The preparation, they go all year waiting for this ball game, whether it means anything or not, or whether it means the conference champion, the Bell, or move on to the state. And tonight, it decides it. It decides this conference champion. It decides who goes first place to represent the area in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. The way we look at it, it's the most important game of the year because it is Concord. It is a rivalry that you look to play for all year, and we are playing for a seed, and we are playing for a conference championship.
Jeremy, we know your win-loss record. We know Concord's win-loss record. Do you do anything different? Do you prepare any differently for this ball game?
Well, you have to prepare it like every other game because you need the kids to know that this is one of several that you want to play.
Have you guys taken into consideration since 1992, I believe, the home field advantage had no meaning? The visitors have won every year since 1992.
Well, we're hoping to take advantage of that tonight.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you get back to work. Thanks for talking to us and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. Are you ready for some real football? Well, we're ready for the battle for the bell, which is moments away here at Bailey Stadium here at Concord. Back in just a minute.
line judge, Riley Burnett, staff judge, Mark Weber.
Good evening, Mr. Referee. I'd like for you to meet Captain Kennedy. Captain Kennedy, good to see you. I want you to meet number 2, Captain Gray. Shake hands. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen, to one another.
Spiders tonight will be Steve Smith. At number 4 will be Keith Mars. And for the Wonders, number 16 will be Justin Martin.
Okay, fellas. I'm Mr. Villas out of LeRon College. I'll be your referee. Mr. Williams will be your umpire. He's from Louisiana State University. From University of North Carolina, we have Mr. Butch Kinley. He'll be your head linesman. And we over here, we have Mr. Rodney Burnett. He comes from the University of Alabama. He'll be your line judge. And your back judge from Austin Peay University is Mr. Weber. Now, gentlemen, I'm going to call you white. I'm going to call you gold. But before we go into that, the umpire, Mr. Williams, wants to read something from you that they read every week that's required by the state of North Carolina. Go ahead.
North Carolina High School Athletic Association requires officials to enforce all rules regarding unsportsmanlike conduct by players and coaches. Specifically, trash talking, taunting, baiting, demeaning celebrations, and vulgar or profane language may be penalized without warning. Fighting or other malicious contact will result in an ejection. If any coach protests a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, he or she is subject to being ejected from the contest. It is strongly suggested that you remind your teammates and coaches of this policy.
Okay, gold, white, you understand what you heard? Are there any questions? Okay. Number 10, you're the visitor. Okay. I have a quarter, heads or tails. But before I flip it, let me tell both captains something. If there's a penalty tonight and it goes against your other team, I give you the options. Once you give me an option, you may not change it, okay? If you don't respond on my second calling, I'll make a decision for your team in your best interest. You understand that? Number 10, call this quarter. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. Heads, you call the heads, it's the tails. You have the option to receive, kick, defend the goal, or defer to the second half. You want to receive. Which goal do you want to defend, right? Go over in a straight line and face me. Right over here, goal. Goal's one to call. This team right here. They're going to receive, gentlemen. Shake hands. Good luck. Bring your teams out.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Concord Spiders on that good-looking offensive line, Woody.
Well, there you see Kaplan, Lee, Miller, Porter, and Thomas Probst just having an absolutely fine year. Then the skill players, Anthony Gray, the senior, Jamie Scott, the senior as well, McClamrock, Adrian Archie, Monta Posey, and Toby Steele for the Concord Spiders. For the Kannapolis Wonders on defense, Philip Johnson, we saw him last week just eliminate people all night long. Desmond Miller, Mark Litton, Willie Poore, one of the captains, and then Paul Allen. In the secondary and linebackers, Kennedy, Sheets, Maddox, Harris, Caldwell, and Gill.
21 seniors for A.L. Brown playing their last Kannapolis Concord game. 18 for the Concord Spiders. There's one of the seniors we're talking about. Jeff Sheets, the 5'11", 197-pounder, ready to get this one underway. Gary Black is the deep guy back among the trio. He's in the middle, standing back at the 5-yard line. Is about 10,000 folks with a casual interest for this game are on their feet, and we're about ready for the 1997 version of Kannapolis Concord.
67th time they've done this, Randy, and boy, the crowd just is not diminishing at all, are they? I mean, everybody in Concord and Kannapolis is here tonight.
They kick it away from Black and about the 10-yard line, trying to get around the corner and some room this time out to the 21-yard line. Good return from Monta Posey, and that's where the offense of Concord will set up shop, led by Anthony Gray, the outstanding senior quarterback. As you see, E.Z. Smith, and congratulations to Z. I don't think we had a chance to mention on headliners, but he's going to be one of the assistant coaches this year for the Shrine Club. That comes up in a little over a month. Of course, Bruce Harden was the head coach last year. North Carolina team won, so it's great to have two coaches in Cabarrus County in such an important game.
You mentioned Anthony Gray, Randy, over 1,300 yards passing, almost 500 yards rushing.
They give it to Scott, and he is stopped immediately by Philip Johnson. Johnson coming in from the defensive end position, a 221-pounder and a quick one, Woody. We made mention of him a lot this season.
No doubt about it. Boy, Johnson ought to be called the Terminator because, especially on that offensive line, when they send him out after somebody, that guy's out of the play.
They will have Gary Black, one of the wideouts, to the top of your screen. He's the guy that's got number 1 on him. 4 wideouts, the single setback on 2nd and 10 from the 21. Play fake, Gray to the air. He's got Black one-on-one coverage and a good open field tackle by Mike King, the corner, or Black would have had a lot of yardage, but it is good enough, I believe, for the first down just over the 31.
And that's something we've seen a lot. As you look at Anthony Gray there, Gary Black has become a weapon. E.Z. Smith told us on the Headliners program that Black and Gray had been teammates as far back as the 7th grade, so they know each other pretty well.
Once again, the single setback, 4 wideouts, first down 10 for the Spiders. Moving, taking their initial first down here in this game. Gray looking to pass this time out of the flat, and he's got a man open at the 35, 40, 45-yard line. Toby Steele with a nice catch. Knocked out of bounds in front of the Concord bench over there on the coverage. Looked like Raybar Harris, one of the corners. But for Toby Steele, you mentioned all the hands, all the passes that Black has caught. Steele is a big play man. He's got 9 catches now on the year.
Well, he's been an integral part of this offense as well. You know, you got a key on Gary Black as a receiver. He and Monta Posey have been the big guys in terms of yardage and numbers all season long, but if you forget about Steele, he can make you pay.
They give to Scott up the middle. Inside Wonder territory to the 47-yard line. Mark Kennedy, the linebacker, knocked him down. You set him up. I guess this is the opposite way. You used to run to set the pass, and now you pass to set up the run, and another weapon.
That's one of the things that Coach Smith has talked about this year, how well-balanced his team is between pass and run. They've really spread things out, and they've got a lot of guys you have to worry about on that offensive side of the ball now, so you can't just key on 1 or even 2 guys.
From the 47-yard line. And moving on the first count is the offensive line. Yep, Thomas Probst got off a little quick. He's 6'4", 255 and a senior. You can't hide out there.
No, he evidently didn't. I had the wrong idea about what the snap count was because he was the only guy who moved.
Had a distinct advantage over the opponent. Well, that'll move it back to the Spider 48-yard line and brings up 2nd down and 7. Once again, trips to the top of your screen. And a lone wide receiver down to the bottom. Gray out of the flat, almost a lateral, little one-on-one that time, and back to about midfield goes Posey, who had 18 catches coming into tonight's game. The 2nd leading receiver on E.Z. Smith's Spider Club.
Well, we talked about penalties during the Headliners program, Randy. One of the callers asked Coach Smith about that, and he said we've got about 1,000 yards in penalties, 100-some on the season. And, you know, it's a situation where if you try and make the guys be too careful out there, you take away some of their aggressiveness that they need to be successful. But he said it's just something we'll have to deal with and overcome.
First 3rd down situation of the night, almost a missed handoff. Jamie Scott hemmed in, he's going nowhere, and that will force the Spiders into a punt. Philip Johnson bottled up things in the middle, along with Kennedy, but I think they were like
Jamie slipped in the backfield that time before he got up to the line of scrimmage, and it kind of delayed things on that handoff, as you mentioned, almost a miss on the handoff, and that really broke that play before it ever got started.
I did walk down on the field right out there where they're playing. It's in relatively good shape. Nick Maddox has returned a bunch this year as far as touchdowns are concerned, awaiting the punt of Jimmy Torelli, and he gets off a decent one. Maddox will field it at the 20. Gets up. Oh, what a block. Around the corner, Nick Maddox down the sidelines, and he has the kicker to beat. He cuts it against the grain. A guy, can they track him down? Yes! Inside the 20-yard line, or Maddox would have had another touchdown.
What a saving tackle. A great block at the beginning of this, and then a saving tackle by the Spiders, and the Kannapolis fans really enjoying that. It's going to give him outstanding field position here. Watch him go down the sidelines. You'll see one shot at him here. Posey missed, and coming up and making the play looked like it was Jamel Jackson, number 10. Couldn't quite read the number, but I think that's who it was.
Well, check the offense for the Wonders, which is on the field for the first time. They'll work it from the I formation. William Crabb, one of the seniors we spoke about, will set him up at the 17-yard line. Tailback. Maddox got about, no check it, Tron Brown, got about a yard that time. It was 51 coming through Stephen Moose, the big defensive tackle. Playing like a Moose that time, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And now we talked to the Kannapolis coaches earlier, Randy, and they said a key for them is going to be getting pads on the Concord linebackers tonight. Talking about Calvin Reed and Adrian Archie. Because the Concord defense relies on those front 5 guys kind of holding their own against the offensive line, allowing the linebackers to come up and make plays. So the Wonders are going to have to be wary of where the Concord linebackers are at all times.
On second down, they toss it this time to Maddox. Oh, hit in the backfield for a loss. And that is going to be Mr. 7, Adrian Archie. That guy is everywhere, and that's the key to the Spider attack. He's averaging 8 tackles a game from the linebacking position. That's tackle number 1.
And now let's take a look at the lineups here as we've got a second before this next play comes up. Boy, you talk about linebackers and how important they are. You saw it there. Philip Johnson, we mentioned a moment ago, Singleton, Seyfried, Mann, and Desmond Miller, another one of the captains. Kraft, Brown, Maddox, Gill, Jenkins, and Sheets for the Wonders on offense. And we'll check the Concord defense in just a moment. What a fine play that time, though, by Adrian Archie.
Third down and long. Kraft with a 360 looking to the air. Going end zone. Got it. Down. Nick Maddox with a juggling act in the end zone. Held on to it for his 34th touchdown of the year. As far as total offense is concerned, receiving-wise, that is his 6th touchdown catch.
Now watch this concentration by Maddox. The ball right there. He bobbles, and then hangs on. Just a nice bit of work by Nick Maddox, and that's a play that, you know, you get banging it around back there and swatting at it and trying to reel it in. It could easily pop out the back of the end zone and just fall for an incomplete pass.
John Garber to attempt the extra point. It's up, it's low, but it's across the crossbar. So the Wonders have drawn first blood with 7:14 to go in the first period. Whitley along with Woody Kane, and I can honestly say this, that won't be the only touchdown scored in this game tonight, I don't believe.
Well, you never know, but more than likely you're right. But what a fine catch by Nick Maddox there. Juggled it, bobbled it, and finally reeled it in. There's the scoring drive. 3 plays, 16 yards. Maddox got the touchdown, and rightly so, because he had the big punt return that set things up for the Wonder offense.
And we're ready to go with the second Wonder kickoff of the night. Jeff Sheets making sure he's got 10 other guys out there, and he'll tow it away. This hit one of the up linemen, a big battle for the football, and
man, this is going to be great field position for the Spiders. A squib kick, and one of the Concord players reached out there and batted it down. Looked like it was number 35, Sean Garland, who knocked it down, and this is going to be outstanding field position for the Spiders to start this drive.
Out of self-defense, Sean just got in the way, you know. I mean, you heard it go boop. It hit.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a situation where if it bounces around and gets to bobbling around on the ground, you could have kind of a backdoor onside kick situation.
Exactly. At the 45-yard line of the Spiders is where they'll set up business. The toss will go to Scott. Looking to get around the corner. He got about 3 that time. Raybar Harris tripped him up with a 4 over the back. Jamie Scott, 1,380 yards, 16 touchdowns. The All-South Piedmont Conference player last year, the MVP from a year ago. He and Maddox were only 2 yards apart in the rushing department. So you're getting to see just not only 2 of the finest teams, but 2 of the greatest running backs
in the state, no doubt. And keep in mind, though, that Jamie missed, 2 or 3 games this season because of an ankle injury earlier.
2nd and 6 now at the just over the 48-yard line. Gray looking on the slant, overthrew his receiver, had him open at about the Wonder 45-yard line. It was we'll pick up the number there in a minute.
It was 4, but it's one of those situations where we don't have a 4 again. It always happens at the end of the year.
However, if he had scored, we'd have found out.
Oh yeah, we'll find out.
It sets up 3rd down now. 2nd 3rd down situation here for the... That was Kiki Farr. Okay. Our apologies there, Kiki. Gary Black, the top receiver, still moving. Now he'll come back about 3 lines off the line of scrimmage. Again, the Scott tripped up at the line of scrimmage, coming through, or excuse me, Jamal Jackson, my apologies, who's in to give Scott some rest. And Jamal Jackson has done a great job this year in that department. 740 yards as a backup. Man.
And the Spiders send the punt team out. They're going to be about 3 yards or 2.5 yards short of the first down, and they're going to kick it away again. Nick Maddox goes back there and licks his chops. He has just been phenomenal with kick returns this season.
And punt returns and any kind of returns, just when he gets the hands on the football. Let's see if they kick it to him this time. Girelli had a great punt last time. Gets a good high one this time. Does not get to Maddox. Will hit, will not be returned, and the Spiders will blow it dead down to the 28-yard line of Kannapolis. Jackson on the football down there. That's where Concord defense comes onto the field. We'll take a look at them for you.
Hamilton, Moose, Plummer, Ham, and Shady, the guys up front. Shady's had a big season. Adrian Archie, who made that great tackle in the last series. Calvin Reed, the linebackers. We talked about how important they'll be. Fulton, Jackson, Posey, and Black for the Spiders. There you see the Kannapolis offense, led, of course, by number 9, William Kraft, who ironically kind of got thrown into the Bell game last year when the Kannapolis starter got knocked out of the game.
One of those senior leaders out there. Good to have that experience out there at quarterback. The give to the Kennedy, and he's going nowhere. Man at the line of scrimmage. Authority.
One of the first guys there was Carl Klein, number 9 that time looked like for the Spiders. And man, there were 4 or 5 Concord players in the backfield waiting on that one. As you see, Coach Bruce Harden. Right beside him there is Coach Shelwyn Klutz, the quarterback coach for the Wonders.
Klein, of course, the defensive tackle. He and Joe Hamp kind of play that spot. Loss on the play. The Wonders backed up to their 26-yard line. 2nd and 12 as they split the backs this time with 3 wide receivers.
Uh-oh, ball on the ground.
And let's see, looked like Kannapolis got the football back. That was just, well, that just all, Maddox fell on it, but it, just everybody bumping into everybody there.
Well, ironically, Kannapolis comes in here as more of a run team than a pass team, but they've been more successful through the air than they have been on the ground. Concord, so far, even though it's very early, has done a good job with the run.
Well, it was 3rd and 13 last time for the Wonders, and they scored on a touchdown pass, so we'll see what happens here. Let's see if Kraft puts it up. 3 wide receivers back to the I formation. Now they'll toss it to Maddox. He's going to put it up. Plenty of time. Now airs it downfield. This one will be picked by Concord. Coming back the other way is Gary Black, and they put him on the ground at the 40-yard line, or he could have taken it all the way back. Looked like Danny Jenkins, the intended receiver, came back and made the tackle.
And somebody got right in Nick Maddox's face as he threw that one, Randy. Made him kind of hang it a little bit. Watch this one hang up here all day. Look coming here. 74 came in there hard for the Spiders at the end of that play. Gary Black kind of played center field and made that one happen. That was Wade Plummer who charged in on Nick Maddox late and kind of made him sail that one a little bit and allowed Black to get under it. Now the Concord Spiders have their best field position of the night to start their 3rd drive.
Good coverage by that secondary, by the way. 4:20 to go here in the first period. Scott hit at the line of scrimmage, got maybe a yard. Across the top of him was Desmond Miller, the senior defensive tackle.
It almost looks, Randy, like Anthony Gray is limping a little bit, and he seemed to be a little slow getting out from under center that time. I wonder if maybe he had his ankle twisted or something in one of these plays here recently, but looked like that play took a beat longer than normal to develop for the Spiders. He looked like he was limping a little bit, but maybe it's just one of those Jim Brown kind of things.
5 rushes for 12 yards so far. Here's Gray with a play fake. Plenty of time. Sidelines. Tipped. Incomplete. Good defensive play. Raybar Harris, the corner, came up and got it at the last minute. Posey, the intended receiver, down at about the 33.
And you hear people talk about closing speed for a guy in the defensive secondary. You saw a great example of it right there by Harris. The receiver was open. Raybar closed the ground while the ball was in the air, was able to get in there and get a hand on it and tip it away.
As Gray comes back in with the play, Posey must know it. He didn't even go to the huddle.
That's true. He's already waiting out there.
He might be a decoy, or he could have his own number called. We'll see. Number 6 just in the slot here on the right side. They hit it. Jamie Scott, he breaks a tackle. He's into the secondary. Wonders will rally, but not before he gets the first down at the 25-yard line. Nick Gill with a crunching tackle. And I tell you, those two guys hit each other pretty good.
Sure did. Nice hold, though, by the Concord offensive line there on the left side, and a good cutback by Jamie Scott to make that play work.
Nothing wrong with his leg.
No, I'm talking about Greg.
Yeah. Tell you what, the Jamie Scott just this year, you see that patience of him just waiting on things to develop.
That's the big thing.
Looking for his blocking. First down, Scott with a call again.
What a move!
And he's into the Wonders secondary for the second time, down near the 15-yard line. A little shy of a first down.
Let me tell you, Randy, Jamie Scott put Philip Johnson on the ground that time and never touched him. Watch this. Watch this cut right here. Watch 71. Oop, nope, missed him. Sorry. Man, that's a move right there. That's why he's going to go to Wake Forest on a full scholarship deal.
Scott averaging 7.7 yards a carry, and we saw a little bit better than the average on that one. He got 8.
And Philip Johnson is not slow either.
Oh, no.
I mean, he's an outstanding defensive lineman.
Gary Black with a move, another move, still moving inside the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Spiders. Making the tackle look to be Nick Maddox over there, number 20, who's back at a free safety position.
Speaking of moves, Gary Black has quite a few of his own.
Black now with 2 catches on the night. That'll give him 30 on the year to go on with his 10 touchdowns. First and goal with the 4-yard line. Spiders down 7-0 with a chance to get back in it here with 2.5 left in the first period. Let's see, they got one setback. We'll have,
looks like there's a little, okay, now they've got things straightened out.
3 receivers to the big side of the field. Fans on their feet here. Toss short side. Scott looking for the blocking. He gets to the 1. He gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Concord.
Man.
Jamie Scott with touchdown number 17 on the year.
And they look to have him bottled up short of the end zone, Randy, but Scott just got his momentum heading toward the goal line and would not be denied. Watch here. Bang, 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 and he just keeps pushing 3 guys on into the end zone.
Brent Lee with a great block, the offensive guard. Now an all-important attempt here, the extra point. McElroy. Good snap, good spot. The kick is up, and it's off to the left, they say. No good. 2:11 remaining, first period. It's a 1-point game. Spider kickoff is next.
The Concord defense was all over it after that. Now here, you saw the dangerous punt return a minute ago by Nick Maddox. Here's the other most dangerous kick returner in the South Piedmont Conference. Gary Black is back deep for the Spiders.
Let's see what Danny Jenkins, the senior, does here. Not much of a rush. Jenkins gets off a high one. They get away from it. It takes a pretty decent roll and bounces a couple of more times, and they will pin it back at the 14-yard line. Time of possession, incidentally, in the first period, 6:59 for Concord. Kannapolis had it 5 minutes and 1 second. Jamie Scott rushing. He had 33 yards on 7 carries, and the Spider defense is pretty much bottled up, except for that first series. The Wonder offense, Maddox 3 out of 4 yards and 3 carries, and Brown 5 yards on 3 carries.
Well, that just goes to show you, we talked about Nick Maddox before, how multi-talented he is. Nick Maddox is not just a running back. He ran the big kickback, caught the touchdown pass. So, I mean, he can do it all.
Spiders have got 23 yards. Or check it. We'll check that statistic for you here in a minute. That is Brown. Okay.
Here comes Scott.
And he's still open. Gets around the corner. And they drag him out of bounds at the 33-yard line. LeRon Caldwell really got him on for the ride.
Sure did. And Jamie Scott kind of hesitated just after he got past the line of scrimmage, Randy, and then broke that one hard to the outside and made a big, big play out of it.
The Wonders have 23 yards total offense in the first period. 19 of those came in the passing department on the touchdown strike. Now the Spiders, down by a point, back in business here on offense at their own 32-yard line. Jamie Scott now with 51 yards on the night.
Concord been operating with 4 wide receivers virtually all night long.
Trips to the top. And they go back to the run. And it opens up. Jamie Scott is opening up. He's got one man to cut cuts inside, and the Wonders will ride him down at the 32-yard line. Nick Maddox caught him up from behind from the free safety slot.
Man, and you want to talk about a burst up the middle. Jamie Scott got a nice hold from his offensive line, and he was off to the races. Watch this hole here. Great work by the Spiders. And then Jamie follows his blocking upfield. Look at that. Gary Black upfield providing a block for him, and that gained him an extra 10 yards there.
Maddox knocked him into the outstretched arms of Nick Gill there, or he'd have been in the end zone. So Scott is starting to heat up to the occasion at the 32-yard line of A.L. Brown. Trips to the right once again. Oops.
Something didn't work right.
Bunch of flags on the play.
We'll see what the call is. But you know, Randy, Concord using these 4 wide receivers forces Kannapolis to go out with their defensive backs and honors that. That means there are less people, as you see the illegal procedure called against Concord. That means there are less people to clog up that middle when Jamie Scott plows it up in there. As you look at Coach Bruce Harden on the sidelines, and Concord will utilize that all night long. If Kannapolis starts trying to clog the middle up to where they can get a body on Jamie Scott, then you pop it out there to the outside to Black or Posey or Steele or one of those guys, or Kiki Farr, and you know, it's just a lot of weapons like this for the Spiders.
And this one's going for a couple of yards. They get a little bit back on the penalty. Kiki Farr caught it right behind the line of scrimmage, and you hope something breaks loose. The Wonders were able to squeeze that one. 2 penalties for 10 yards so far tonight against Concord. Easy Smith says, well, it's only second down here, so
we'll call it 10.
Just outside the 32-yard line.
Well, what a great high school football atmosphere this is.
Well, I've never seen them up on the banks up there. I mean, they're
out in the parking lot watching.
It's unbelievable. 5 of 7, 44 yards so far for Grace. Back to the air, and he's got a man open. Cuts it in. Inside the 10, and down to the 1-yard line, Monta Posey.
Well, Monta Posey with a great catch on a slant pattern right across the middle of the screen there. And he takes it off to the races. That's the danger. He hasn't really been looked at very hard. Look at this. And he just found the seam and goes up the middle, coming up to make the play. The game, or rather the touchdown-saving tackle there was Sheets at the very end of that play. And otherwise, Monta Posey was going to have himself another touchdown.
Well, I believe there's some of the folks. That's on the hill.
Man.
6 for 8 now for 75 yards for Gray, and you probably bet the mortgage money that Jamie Scott's going to get it.
Yeah.
First and goal of the 1. Gray to Scott.
Oh, good penetration.
In the backfield. Who's the first guy there? It's number 10, Marcus Kennedy, the senior linebacker for the Wonders. And I guess he guessed right, too.
He did. Kennedy, right before the snap, was sneaking up to the gap there at the line of scrimmage and just exploded through the line untouched and was able to get in there and mess that one up before it really ever got rolling very well.
I don't think I've ever seen him that far up the hill here at Bailey Stadium.
My goodness, they're hanging up in the trees out there.
Let's get a good shot. A loss back to about the 3-yard line. Second and goal from the 3. Toss to Scott. Looking around the corner. Jamie lowers the shoulder, and he's in. Touchdown, Concord.
And again, Randy, you talked earlier about Jamie Scott being patient and following his blocks. There's more evidence of that. He didn't take off until he thought he found the seam behind his blockers, and that's the experience of the senior. Watch this. He's out. He's out. Now look at this block here. Making the play to get him into the end zone is 65 Mike Porter. He threw the block. When Jamie saw that, he knew it was time to go.
Porter, the offensive guard, just making Scott add to his totals. Now 2 touchdowns on the night, 11 rushes, 86 yards, and the Spiders missed the extra point a while ago, lining up for 2. Great play fake, looking corner, fade route, catch made, conversion good. Gary Black out-jumped the defender for the football, and the Spiders have regained the lead and lead it 14-7 with 8:19 to go before halftime.
Maddox is standing back at about the Concord 40-yard line, and if he gets his hands on it around that area, that's going to be big, big trouble for the Spiders.
Maddox with 34 touchdowns on the year, all-purpose touchdowns.
That's it.
And they kick it away from him.
Good thinking.
And it will die at about the 42-yard line of Concord, but still the Wonders will have great field position. Good time to use it, too. 4:23 left here in the first half.
Looked like both these coaches had come in here, Randy, and said, no matter what you do, don't kick it to Maddox and don't kick it to Black.
Well, they kicked it to Maddox one time, and what happened?
Yeah, he almost ran it all the way back.
But it did set up a touchdown. Next week, of course, we'll have the playoffs for you. It'll either be, we'll be covering either Concord or Kannapolis, depending on who's where.
Depending on who's the champion.
Yeah. Play fake. Crap with all kinds of time. Jenkins diving. Can he make the catch? They're going to give it to him at the 30-yard line.
And that, Randy, is exactly what we talked about a moment ago. That's what Kannapolis is going to have to do every now and then to keep the Concord defense honest. The Concord defense was just clogging up the line of scrimmage so well. Kannapolis is going to have to do that every now and then just to keep things honest and to keep things opened up a little bit. Now you've got them thinking, well, I've got to stick on this guy an extra beat longer.
Jenkins with his 11th catch on the season. He's the leading receiver for Kannapolis. Twin sets now, Johnson and Brown, and Kraft back to the air. Slips, but throws over the middle. Tipped, incomplete. Almost picked that time. Adrian Archie got his paws on it, but couldn't quite hold it. Banner to bring up second down and 10 at 30.
There's Coach Harden on the sideline sending into play. Looks like Maddox is going to come in now, and Brown is going to go out. Ivar Johnson still in the backfield. And Kraft still the quarterback. You know, last week against Northwest Cabarrus, we saw Justin Harden get a lot of time. And a lot of fans are really looking forward to seeing Justin Harden get some more playing time. But Kraft has earned the right to be here, being the senior, and he's leading his team now and driving them down the field.
Maddox with a hole, cuts it to the outside. He'll have the first down to the Spider 18-yard line. Nick just needed a little bit. Jackson on the tackle in the secondary. Just don't need much. Him and Scott, they do not need much. And Brown.
Look here. Look at the hole. Look at the good blocking by the Kannapolis team up front. And there you see Jackson riding him down, but not before Maddox had turned that one into a nice game.
All these running backs don't need much time. 5 for 19 yards so far for Maddox. Talking about Kraft, he's 2 of 4, 1 interception, 31 yards and a touchdown so far. First down, Wonders. The give will be to Brown. Tron Brown bottled up after maybe 2 yards that time. Stephen Moose, who is...
Well, we're starting to say his name an awful lot, aren't we?
He has 3 of them out there, I think.
Feels like it.
3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, opening half. 14-7, Concord on top. They've 14 unanswered points.
But you see already, Randy, the impact of those couple of passes. Even though they only completed one of them, you see the impact that's had so far for Kannapolis. It's opened things up just enough to let Kannapolis continue this drive.
Doss looking. Good block. Maddox out to the outside. Inside the 5.
Did he get there?
Out of bounds, I believe, inside the 5. They said he stepped out up around the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. But he doesn't need much opening, as we say once again, and some good blocking around the left side.
No question about it. But, Randy, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. The scary thing is, number 20 is a junior.
Ooh.
Watch this. Great block out there by Ivar Johnson to spring Maddox. He got the good block on Jackson that time to give Maddox the room to make that one work.
And they say the 3-yard line, so it is first and goal. Wonders at the 3. Man in motion is Johnson. And the give will be Tron. Oh, hit in the backfield for a loss. Number 8, Calvin Reed.
Wow.
Flag is down, and after the play, a dead ball foul, so we'll see what Mr. Billis, the referee, calls on this one.
My goodness.
Something could have been said, could have been some talk there. I don't know.
Well, couldn't have been Calvin Reed. He was 20 yards the other way.
Exactly.
He just kept on running after he made the tackle. Here's the call.
It's going to be some sort of personal foul. Dead ball foul.
I think they're saying holding, aren't they? No, personal foul against Concord. No.
That'll be half the distance. So that will nullify really the loss, because the ball is resting about the 5.5-yard line. So it'll be a first down.
Again, Randy, the penalty jumps up to bite the Spiders. A great play by Reed, nullified by that penalty.
Away from the action, actually, really. Away after everything was said and done.
Evidently, it was Shady who got called for that one. Don't know what he did exactly, but
I said it was first down. It's still going to be second down. and goal just inside the 3-yard line. Johnson goes in motion all the way this time. Kraft, quarterback keeper, stretches out. Touchdown, Wonders.
Well, you didn't expect carries as he had this year. Not too many, huh?
I don't have him with a rushing touchdown this season.
Nice call by the Kannapolis coaches. You know they had to be looking at Kennedy and those other guys in the backfield there, and a good job, good push by the Wonder line to give Kraft the room to punch that one across.
Say, watch William run.
Yeah.
3 yards out, and now the Wonders with a chance to tie the game here. John Garber, who's been outstanding all season long in this department, kicks it into the darkness, and we have a new game. 2:32 remaining, first half. Don't you dare go away or we'll shoot you. Well, let's see if they send everybody but Nick Maddox, who's back at about midfield. There's Torelli.
And there's Maddox, and boy, that uniform is already beat up, isn't it? Boy, kick it out of bounds. Look at there.
Short kick goes out of bounds. Didn't take much time. At the 36-yard line is where the offense of the Wonders will come on with 54 seconds to go. So you got a couple of shots at the zone right now.
You really do, and I know they were trying to keep from kicking it to Nick Maddox to allow him a chance to run that one back, but you know the Spiders would have liked to have just a little more out of that kick. 36-yard line now with the 54 seconds left is enough time for Kannapolis to make something happen here, and I don't think they've used any of their timeouts.
I believe you're correct. Maddox is one wide out to the top of your screen. Jenkins to the other side along with Gill. Johnson and Brown are the running backs, and it'll be... Wait a minute. It's not Brown. It's a pass into the end zone. Maddox, catch, touchdown, Wonders.
My goodness.
39. Paul Allen, normally a defensive guy, is in there.
Hold on. A flag is down.
And it's going to come back.
Let's see. They're acting like it's coming back. Let's take a look here. You'll see Allen standing back and standing back. He waits a long time for Maddox to get open. And let's see. The call is going to be... It's going to be blocking below the waist against Kannapolis. The play will come back. My goodness.
There's that trickery we were talking about Wednesday night. Well, Paul Allen, has he thrown a pass in his career? Who knows?
Man.
Where did he come from?
He had to wait an awful long time, though, Randy, for Maddox to work his way open that time, and that may have led to the block below the waist as they were trying to protect him.
Allen, normally a defensive end, comes in. I'm sitting there, I thought it was Brown. I look up, it's 39 throwing the football.
Well, you know, everybody for Concord had to be thinking, well, no way Allen throws the ball.
All right. Just going to run the clock out, see if something breaks loose here. Well, boy, what a change of real estate that is. But it was still fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Instead of, though, Randy, them having the ball first and 10 to the 36 with about a minute to go, they're all the way back at the 44-yard line now with 46 ticks on the clock, and now they've got first and 30.
Gill, Sheets, Jenkins, wideouts. Let's see who's going to throw it for the backfield now. Well, they're going to run it up the middle. Pretty good yardage. Midfield down to about a 46-yard line. Tron Brown. That is Tron this time. Looked like Jim Shady on the tackle. Timeout on the field. 40 seconds remaining. First half. Return to Bailey Stadium here at Concord High School. Second out of 20 facing the Wonders from the Spider 46-yard line with 40 cents left on the clock. Now we're ready. Well, everybody's throwing the ball tonight, including William Kraft, the quarterback. Let's see what they come up with this time. Toss. Here we go. Now he's going to run it. Uh-oh. And the ball is loose. I thought for a moment. Nope, Allen got it back. But he's down for a yard loss. Stephen Moose over there.
Moose was having none of that. Allen looked up, didn't see anything downfield, thought he was going to take off, but Moose stayed home on defense and did a good job to get that one broken down for his team.
And the Wonders, I believe, calling another timeout. Well, you can't carry him over until next half, so 29 seconds remaining here in the first half. And what has been played every bit is what it was built up to be. There you see some of the members of the A.L. Brown marching band. They'll be performing here at halftime, and also the Concord Spider marching band. And between these two bands, not only you got about 10,000 people here and 100 kids playing football, but 7,000 of them are in the band. So
yeah, they both have great band programs. And it's almost Christmas parade time, too, so we'll get an opportunity to check them out again.
And again, and again. And they've got a busy schedule. You think marching on the football field is fun. About 3.5 miles in a parade.
Man.
All right. Easy Smith coming off the sidelines after talking to his Spider defense. 3rd and 21 right now. Play fake, Kraft rolling. Good time. Now we'll go deep. He's got Nick Gill behind the secondary. Completed the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Kannapolis. No flags down. They forgot about Nick Gill.
They sure did, Randy. He was absolutely, positively wide open down the right side of the field. Back there deep for the Spiders was Monta Posey, but not deep enough. And look at this protection. Kraft has plenty of time to stand back and read this one and throw it. And look how far away Posey is from Gill.
On 3rd and 21, they burned the Spider secondary as the Kannapolis fans obviously delighted. And, boy, we have got a good one here tonight. The Wonders reclaim the lead.
Garber to attempt the extra point.
Garber, who has been perfect tonight, 2 for 2 in the extra point category, a low snap. And it's going to be blocked. And that was Gary Black who got it. I don't think they had a chance to get it up anyway, but the score will remain 20-14, 19 seconds remaining in the first half. Great performances by both bands, and we had a good break. Let's take a look into how the numbers went in the first half, other than the 20-14 score.
Well, as we see them flash up here, I think one of the things that's really going to jump out at you is that Kannapolis has more passing yards than rush yards. We talked about in the open, they're primarily a rushing team. After Concord had things bottled up on the ground, Kannapolis came out, kind of threw a couple of times, opened things up, and they were very successful. Keep in mind, they were down, 14-7. They stormed back, put 2 touchdowns on the board to take the lead. Everything else, stat-wise, reasonably even. You see the one interception there for Kannapolis that caused them some problems. Concord turned that into a score. As for the storyline of motion, it's always big in this game. We've seen evidence of it from both teams so far. Kraft, 79 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he ran for another touchdown. Maddox, the big punt return that set up a Kannapolis score, and then Jamie Scott, 12 carries for 89 yards. But I really think you got to give a lot of credit to William Kraft so far. He's been involved in all 3 Kannapolis touchdowns so far. Oops, right through the shortstop's legs and finally picked up. Here's Maxwell, hit and stopped at the 14-yard line. That's where the Wonders were set up. On the coverage was Jim Shady for the Spiders. The seniors, the most unlikely guy in a game like this, sometimes and you know, nobody had come in here thinking, well, William Kraft is going to be the difference in this game. Everybody's thinking, you know, you look at guys like Nick Maddox and Tron Brown and Philip Johnson and guys like that. Kraft has come out here and quietly had a very, very solid first half for the Wonders.
They all set it up with Johnson along with Nick Maddox behind William Kraft on first down at the 14. Toss sweep, Maddox looking for the corner, and he's brought down from behind after about 4, maybe 5. Stephen Moose, who has just been all over the field on the right side of that defensive front, once again there to make the stop.
Stephen Moose is having a huge game defensively for the Spiders. Also, you got to give a lot of credit to those linebackers we talked about at the beginning. Calvin Reed as well as Adrian Archie just having fine first halves for the Spider defense.
Pick up a 5 on the play. Let's call it a second and a short 6, actually. Out of the eye. Tron Brown on the opening. Spinning. He'll be near the sticks. Had to get just over the 24-yard line.
Looks like he's going to have it at that spot holds where the ball is now, and he does indeed have the first down.
How many times we say it? How many times would Coach Smith and Coach Hart say the key to setting the tone is maybe the first possession of the second half? The Wonders already picked up a first down here in this drive. They split the backs. Kraft will do the quick toss to Maddox.
Oh!
Lowers the shoulder out to the 29-yard line. Once again, Adrian Archie, the outstanding dismissive. They're still at the concession stand and the restroom facilities, but they'll be back.
Look at Nick Maddox. Does he look like he's played hard or what?
Boy, he's a tied with extra bleach candidate, I would think. Second down and 6. Pick up a 4 for Maddox. Fullback. Marcus Kennedy spinning, fighting off tacklers, and will be close to the sticks out near the 35. Jackson with the stop defensively for Concord.
Nice run that time. He got hit a couple of times, Randy, and just wouldn't quit on it. Kept his legs churning, spun around a couple of times, and turned that one into a nice play.
Well, so far, maybe what ECU was saying on headliners is how many running backs has Kannapolis got? Well, we got Brown and Maddox and now Kennedy and Maxwell and Johnson. Paul Allen snuck in on it. That's 6, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kannapolis definitely has a bunch of athletes in that backfield, and they rotate them liberally through the game.
Third and a short 1. They'll have a first down. Tron Brown out to the 40. Hooked up that time and brought to the ground. Looked like Wade Fuller, the nose guard, number 74, one of the first guys there in the gold shirts. Spiders trying to win their second outright conference championship. Brown now with 27 yards rushing on 9 carries today.
So 3 yards a carry, not too shabby, and Tron Brown has been just a solid contributor all season long, as we mentioned earlier.
On first down, they offset the back. Here's Maddox. Hit man! They got him this time, but he still got 2 yards, and the guy who got him was 24 Jim Shady from the defensive end position.
And Randy, it's not like Shady was just kind of standing there waiting. He fought off a block and made that play. He worked through his man to make that play.
And Maddox still got 2 out of it, who is now 43 yards on the night of the rushing department on 9 carries. So he and Brown started to pick up some numbers here. 2nd and 8 from the 42. Toss. Tron Brown got a hole. 48-yard line. Knocked down that time. Looked like Posey, the corner, got him there first. And also Adrian Archie, the right side linebacker.
Kannapolis has come out looking sharp here out of the locker room, Randy, to get the ball moving. Another key third down for him here. If they can pick this up, they are definitely going to have the Spider defense on its heels a little bit.
49-yard line, 8th play of the drive coming up. They've occupied nearly 4 minutes off the clock. It started at their own 14-yard line. Toss out of the eye to Maddox. He'll get to midfield, and that's about it.
The key is going to be the spot. Let's see.
Aaron Hamilton with the stop for Concord's defense, and they do move the sticks. First down.
And so far, Randy, the Wonders have not had to go to the air at all here in the second half. They did their damage with a pass attack in the first half and got things opened up a little bit, and they are just churning up the yards here. 4th first down of this drive for the Wonders.
Nick Gill caught a touchdown pass late in the first half, the closing minute. Slip to the bottom of your screen. Here's Kraft, going to put it in the air this time. Dumps it over the zone. Jeff Sheets, the tight end, with a catch. First down, Wonders at the Concord 37-yard line. Well, they lacked the tight end over the middle. Gary Black made the stop, but a nice little, I don't know, just a drop pass.
Yeah, just a nice little lob over the defense that time by Kraft, who is just having a fine game here, Randy. Every time it looks like things are starting to slow down a little bit for the Wonders, Kraft comes up with a big play.
The run sets up the pass. Sheets splits to the top. And it will be Gill to the bottom. First down from the Spider 37-yard line. Tron Brown checks one tackle, can't check another, and he'll go down on the line of scrimmage. Aaron Hamilton once again there to finish him off. And good defensive line search that time by the Spider defense. And we've got Tron Brown slow to get up. I think it's going to be all right. He'll go out and Maddox back in. What a luxury of having a senior and a junior to rotate fresh legs all the time.
And as you mentioned a moment ago, Randy, they've got a handful of backs that they rotate in and out the whole game to keep fresh legs in the game.
Second down and 10. Toss, Maddox looking for the block, splits the defense. Enders breaks a tackle. First down. Nick Maddox out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
And Randy, that time 3 Spiders got a shot at Maddox and could not bring him down. He just refused to go down on that play.
Very elusive. He doesn't need much of a seam, as you'll see here.
Here comes a shot here. Here comes another shot here. And finally, the third guy gets him out of bounds.
Marcus Kennedy, or Mark Kennedy, the initial block that sprung him from the line of scrimmage. Brandon Fulton finally pushed him out of bounds. 12th play of the drive coming up. Right side. Whoops. Got him by the britches and held on there. That was
Calvin Reed, nice tackle.
Calvin Reed says, come here. Where are you going?
Wouldn't let him go that time.
It's kind of like he's running full speed. I said, stop.
Yeah.
Sit down here. We don't want to visit.
Looks like we got a timeout injury on the field. Looks like one of the Wonders on the far side over there.
Did not catch him there, so we're breaking the action. 6:15 remaining, third period. Ready Willie line with Woody Kane and Adam Singleton. Glad to see he's going out under his own power. A little bit of help, but the senior offensive guard able to walk off. Second down and 8, back to the action. Wonders operating with the toss to Maddox, getting the block of the line of scrimmage, goes to the 13. And there is some scrambling going on down there in the trenches right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Randy, pretty good block down there for the Wonders that time on the far side by Mark Kennedy, but enough Spiders got in there to fill the gap up and keep that play under control.
Kennedy, normally a starting linebacker on defense.
This is a huge play coming up here. 3rd and 6. Kannapolis has chewed up about 6 minutes on this drive right now. They already have a 6-point lead. If the Spiders can stop them here, that would be a big momentum breaker. Conversely, if Kannapolis converts the first down, they're going to have everything going their way.
Or you think this is 2-down territory. Here's Maddox. Stopped with authority at about the 12. Got a couple on the play. Jim Shady stuck. Bruce Harden is livid over there. I'm not sure who he's upset at somebody.
Doesn't look like he's yelling at one of his players. Looks like he's getting on the officials about something.
And a timeout called by the Wonders, as they will have 4th down and 3 coming up.
Maybe he was just trying to get his team to call the timeout.
5:02 remaining in the third period. So they've kept it almost 7 minutes here, Woody. Next week, of course, we got our headliner show at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, don't forget, though, this game here is going to have a huge impact on who goes where in terms of the playoffs, and we will bring you the highest seeded team from the SPC has been our general practice over the years, so things still very much up in the air. And then Wednesday night, we'll give you all the information you need about where the area teams are going, who they'll be playing, and all that. We'll talk live to the coaches as well. 8 o'clock live Wednesday night from our studios, and Lanny Nunn will be there.
Oh, yeah. Not only do they do it a little different, you take 1, 2, and 3 out of the conference, but they are seeding them in the East and West by, I guess, power ratings or whatever.
Yeah, and I like that because that way it means, you know, in years past you'd have a couple of the powerhouse teams playing with each other early in the playoff run. This way the better teams have the best track to make it to Chapel Hill.
6 minutes and 58 seconds. The Wonders have occupied the ball. This is the 15th play of the drive, and guess what? They're going for it. 4th down and 3 from the 11-yard line. Toss to Maddox, looking for the block. He stopped at the 10, short. And the Spiders defense coming off the field, and that might be the momentum swing we're looking for here, if you're a Spider fan.
Watch it here. Maddox comes out. Good block there by Kennedy, but coming up here to make the play, the Spiders seal it off. I think it was Fulton, but I'm not positive.
They ran short side of the field.
But again now, Randy, Concord is going to have very poor field position to start a drive, and it seems like that's been the story since early in the game. It seems like their last 3 or 4 drives have started way down on their own end of the field.
Back, they are 90 yards away from the end zone. Anthony Gray off to Scott, picking his way for about 2, and that's about it. Willie Poor, there's Philip Johnson, who is...
Well, you saw that emotion graphic we had there during the storyline? That guy is the emotion for this Kannapolis defense. I mean, he plays huge all the time. That was what they were fighting for there, the bell.
We actually got to stand near it. Nobody asked us to leave, you know.
Well, you know,
got to ring that thing.
Every dog has his day.
nobody was interested in. Well, at the first of the game, nobody noticed us. He was snuck in on him. Gray. Scott gets out this time. Gill catches him and waits for help. He'll finally blow the whistle. That's first down, by the way, over the 20-yard line. Took about 5 or 6 guys.
Gill, you said Randy slowed him down, but he couldn't get him down by himself. He had to get some help. Jamie Scott was just churning his way up the field.
Scott with a pretty decent first half, and now he has exactly 100 yards on the night on 14 carries. Not a bad night. And we still got a quarter and a half to go. First down. Gray to the air. Pops it out of the flat, complete. Eluding one man, and a couple of more yards for Gary Black. Another first down after the 34.
Just when you thought the Spiders were going to start relying entirely on Jamie Scott, they pop it out there to Gary Black. Single coverage at the top of your picture that time. There's Coach E.Z. Smith.
And don't be surprised to see Anthony Gray. We've seen it over the past few years, the old naked bootleg.
And Anthony is definitely a fine athlete. He can get some big chunks of yardage himself. He's got almost 500 yards rushing this year by himself. So a lot of weapons for this Spider team. And this is a key situation, key time in the game.
On the heel to Scott, trying to get outside. The Wonders catch him this time.
Look who it is.
Phil Johnson says, "Not him. This is my turf on this side. Now you can run anywhere else."
Now, he came from the top side to catch him, though. Johnson came all the way around the play, and he looks like he's limping off a little bit now, and that's huge for the Kannapolis defense. That kid right there is the real deal.
They twisted, looks like he's had that leg taped over there, maybe going over a tape job. Danny Jenkins is in at that position defensively, I believe.
But man, that's a big old defensive lineman coming from the other side of the play to run down one of the best backs in the state from behind.
Almost a lateral here, and he dropped the ball. He picked it up, got a good hop, and now coming back the other way.
It's live.
Look out! They get him out of bounds in front of the Spider bench. Gary Black, Mr. Excitement. Michael Keene finally brought him down, but
you said it, Randy, the lateral. Now watch the ball. It's going to go backwards here. So even though Black knocks it down, this is still a live ball. He realizes it. Look at the Wonders stop. They don't realize it. Even some of the Spiders don't. Black hurdles over one guy. Now he's off to the races. Keene finally brings it down, but a heads-up play by Gary Black to realize what was going on there when several other players didn't.
Turned disaster into a first down to the 48-yard line. Back to Scott on the ground. Oh, what a hole this time. Scott just pulls his way to the under 41-yard line.
My goodness. And Randy, you talked earlier about Jamie Scott being patient. There were a couple of times there where he could have had a nice burst to go upfield. Watch him follow his blocks here. Watch him sidestep, wait, now go.
Man, and then he just laid some leather on somebody. I didn't see the number of that young man.
Got another injured player down for the Wonders, looks like.
May have been the guy who we were talking about there. So
can't pick up the number.
Breaking the action. We have 2:17 left here in the third quarter at Bailey Stadium. Welcome back to Concord High School. The Wonders not only call that one timeout, they call it another one. So now they only have one left.
Well, they called the other one early when they had the ball driving down. So now we think they only have one left, and that could be critical.
Here's the toss to Scott, hemmed in, stopped. Tron Brown in defensively to make the hit. We might have Philip Johnson is back into the action after going off and I think his leg taped. And also Nick Gill, who was injured, is now back. So he's sit out one play, number 82. So
hey, and his replacement was Tron Brown, who made that tackle. So you don't lose a whole lot there, do you? Looks like some guys starting to get a little cramping action going on here and there. So as the weather gets cool, that might be something you start to see a little bit more of here.
Really a perfect night for the players on the field. 2nd and 14 at the Wonder 44-yard line. Gray to the air, pumps, in trouble. Flushed out of the pocket, the Wonders will get him after about a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
And busting up the middle that time was Ricky Mann, who had a shot at Gray. Anthony was able to wiggle out of it and turn nothing into something that time, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Spiders.
Good coverage by the Wonders secondary, really responsible for that sack, I guess you could say. Now it's 3rd and long.
And Ricky Mann was really upset with himself, jumping up and down there that he missed Anthony Gray, but a lot of guys have missed Anthony Gray.
And a lot more will before this year's over. minute of the third period. 3rd and 12 from the Wonder 42. Play fake, Gray, straight drop. Plenty of time, pumps once. Now we'll go deep. He's got Black behind the secondary. It's batted down. Looked like Nick Maddox came back and did a jump ball there back at about the 10-yard line.
And Maddox looks like he may have a cramp. You see Gary Black there trying to help him out. Now that's sportsmanship.
What a show of sportsmanship. And
Maddox is hobbling off the field. Boy, they're going to have to get some help to get him off the field. He's not even putting any weight on the leg at all. That might be a little more than a cramp.
Yeah, now they're going to...
I hope not. Goodness gracious.
It's her. Well, there you see Becky Shope, I think one of the Wonder trainers. She is treating it as if it is a cramp, and I think that is what the diagnosis is, Doctor. 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Maddox being assisted on the sidelines, the right leg, obviously a severe case of the cramps. 68 yards rushing tonight for Nix, and he just made a fine defensive play. Now the Spiders will punt. Torelli kicks it high, and not particularly deep, and it doesn't take, well, finally takes a roll at the end. We'll go out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
And that is just tremendous, Randy, for Nick Maddox to go out. Not only do they lose their top running back, but think about what he does for them on special teams, returning kicks.
Just play a lot tonight, but we'll see a lot more cramps, I'm sure, as this game wears on.
Well, let's hope that that's all it is wrong with Nick Maddox.
34 seconds remaining in the third period, so it'll be Tron Brown, the tailback this series. He'll have to be the man back there at the tailback position.
Well, there's still Maxwell, who's pretty good in his own right.
And Brown looking up the middle. Spinning out across the 20 to the 23-yard line, about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. Adrian Archie, once again, the linebacker. Aaron Hamilton also making the tackle. As the Wonders contend on letting the time run. Not sure if they'll be able to get another playoff here.
Or if they'll even want to. They're just standing, Randy. I don't think they're going to even try to get another playoff.
So the score will remain as it was at halftime. We have 12 more minutes in the battle for the bell. And the conference championship here at Bailey Stadium in Concord. Willie, along with Woody King, Steve Gamble, the entire Metro 12 production crew, along with half of Cabarrus County here tonight.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Bailey Stadium, and what fine hosts they have been for us, and what a great view we have. There's just some of the thousands of folks who have assembled and dotted the hills here. Big horseshoe here in Concord. They call Robert Bailey Stadium. Second down and short. They need 4 yards here. Just shy of the 25-yard line. Kraft, who has gone all the way, a quarterback, hands off to Brown. And they'll stop him after a couple that time. Number 9 coming up to squeeze things was Carl Klein from the defensive tackle, and Calvin Reed. Once again, the linebackers making the stops for the Spiders, and that is enough to move the chains. I thought he didn't get quite enough, but they say he did get the necessary yardage.
And right now, Randy, the Wonders with a 6-point lead. Main thing they want to see is that clock continuing to tick.
It was amazing, all the fireworks in the first half, nobody scored in the second.
Yeah,
but
so far.
Yeah, so we're in the second.
There's confusion. The Wonders are going to have to use their last time out, Randy. They couldn't get lined up like they wanted, and they had to burn their last time out.
Well, that could come back to haunt them, as they'll stop the clock with 11:29 to go in regulation. Maybe the thing Geesey was saying was his knee down before he threw.
Yeah, that probably is. It looked like he almost used the ball to kind of keep his momentum going there, but at any rate, it's just an incomplete pass.
Still 3rd and long. They toss it. Maddox is back in there, and he's going to load it up. Upfield, complete, and near the first down marker. I think he got it.
I think he did too.
Well, what a turn of events. Danny Jenkins on the receiving end.
What a huge, huge play. Nick Maddox comes off the bench with basically a leg and a half and completes a big first down pass for the Wonders on 3rd and 11.
But the arms are still good.
Yeah.
Jenkins has been instrumental. Has caught 10 passes this year coming into tonight's game, and has caught 3 or 4 huge ones so far. He's having a career tonight.
They've all been at critical moments for Kannapolis.
The drive will stay alive. They're in Spider territory in the 48-yard line. Kraft checks his backfield. Tailback, Tom Brown.
Man, what a shot.
And of course, he dishes out a little punishment, too. Reed and Archie there. And Brown, three of the finest ball players you'll find in the state, meeting after about a 3-yard game.
Inside 9.5 minutes to go now, and another time-consuming drive for the Wonders. Concord has only had the ball one time here in the second half so far.
Well, that's the way you keep a high-powered offense from scoring. Don't get them get it. And easier said than done. So far, the Wonders have done that here in the second half. Toss will go to Maddox, short side. Bounces, slides, and
he's going to be close to another first down.
Apparently, that is good enough to move the sticks.
And you didn't see the explosion like you normally see from Nick Maddox. Looks like they're going to call for a measurement, I believe. Let's see. But Maddox was able to keep moving in the right direction. Watch him here. He doesn't go kaboom like he normally does here, but he just keeps working, keeps falling, keeps sidestepping, and works his way close to a first down.
Ran off the block of Mark Kennedy and Philip Johnson, who was going both ways tonight. As that young man had a heck of a ball.
Here's the measurement. Let's see.
We got to get
Looks like he's got it.
Yeah, you got to get the chain game in at least once a game.
No, he did not. Just short.
15 yards, 15 carries, 75 yards for Nick Maddox so far. Third and short, do you do the old Mark Starr Green Bay Packer play? Load it up, go deep?
I don't think so. I think they might do that Kraft keeping it up the middle kind of deal here again. Let's see, but this is another key third down for the Wonders. And the story here in the second half, Randy, is that Kannapolis keeps on converting these third down plays.
We have 8:52 remaining in regulation. We might add there will be overtime if needed. But right now it's kind of a 6-point lead, the extra point, the difference. If Concord can come back and score, that would be the difference in the game right now. Well, what do you call it? Coach Woody called Mr. Kraft's number, and they'll have the first down.
They worked for him in the first half, and they did it again here. It just doesn't give the defense time to load up and come after you if you know you only need a foot or so like that.
Well, we talk about...
Now, wait a minute. They're going to spot it down and measure it again, it looks like. It'll depend on the spot.
But the defense
sure looked like he got it, but let's see.
Because the defensive team has the option. We'll see how close we are. There goes our first roll of toilet tissue out of the stands.
No, you missed one earlier.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Well, Walmart is out, folks, so if you need any, wait on Monday.
And he got it.
By the London football.
He was good for a Wonder first down. The ball resting.
Well, they'll get another set of downs and a little bit more time taken off the clock.
And that's what they want right now. 8.5 to go. And this drive for Kannapolis, along with the first one, has accomplished exactly what they wanted. Chewing up clock and keeping the Concord offense on the sidelines.
This is the 10th play of the drive coming up for the Wonders. They had about 16 plays in the last drive. They ended up being stopped on downs. Toss to Maddox, and he's got him and corralled from behind. It was number 7, Adrian Archie, and Jamal Jackson teaming up to make the stop.
I'm telling you, how many times has Archie been in the backfield tonight?
Well, their defense is geared out of that 5-2. They shade it so that Archie and Reed make a lot of tackles, but they get a lot of penetration. I guess it's similar to remember the years David Damon and Houston Rogers played down here. It's very similar. I haven't seen two bookends like these guys in 5 or 6 years, so it works.
So they threw him for a short loss.
Back to the Spider 38-yard line. Kraft rolls right. All kinds of time. Pumps it upfield. Complete. First down inside the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Across the far way is Jeff Sheets, the tight end. They've utilized his talents tonight several times as we watch it again.
And they've used this play several times. And again, nice touch on the ball by Kraft. He had enough time by the rollout to wait for his receiver to work his way open, and then just dropped it right in there as pretty as you please.
Well, I would think if there's any doubt as to who the quarterback is,
It's been answered tonight.
is if there were any doubt in the camp before. So all the armchair quarterbacks can keep their mouths closed now.
Forget about it.
Yeah. First down Wonders at the Spiders' 16-yard line. Mark Kennedy almost kept his balance, goes down to the 10. 10 for 15 tonight for William Kraft, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. What more can you ask from a senior?
Man, he's just had a fine game. And who would have thought it coming in here? Everybody was talking about all the stars who have been putting up the huge numbers all year long. But William Kraft, that guy there, number 9, has really been the difference in this game.
This is a seal the deal type drive here. The Wonders can punch it in. 6.5 minutes to go in the 4th period. It's the 13th play of the drive.
Oh, he tried to call a timeout. I don't think he has any.
No,
he doesn't. Let's see now. And there's the flag. He does not have any timeouts.
Well, that's a communication breakdown there.
And there go the flags. He did indeed call one that he didn't have.
And that'll cost you some yardage. It was 2nd down.
And Coach Harden is giving him the business over there now. And the Kannapolis, some of the people there are saying, I thought we only used 2, but Coach Harden knew. But Kraft saw something he didn't like and tried to call a timeout. There were none.
Well, it cost him 5 yards. But the ball, the down stays at 2nd. That's a big 5 yards down there.
Yeah, no question.
Well, at least you get time to regroup. That's not as severe as calling timeouts in basketball. No timeout left. They're going to shoot technical shots, don't they? 2nd and 9. And the 15. Nick Maddox up the middle. Nick Maddox in the end zone.
My goodness, Randy. What a hole he had to run through.
That's one way to overcome no timeouts. Nick Maddox with his, 2nd touchdown or 3rd touchdown of the night. We'll check the numbers and watch it again.
I think this is his 2nd. He caught the pass earlier. And, man, I'm talking about a hole there opened up by the Kannapolis line.
14, 15 yards out.
Now, I think, Randy, they're going to go for 2 here to try and make it a 14-point lead since they missed that extra point earlier or had it blocked.
You are exactly right. Out of the eye, a tight formation. Now they will break Johnson in motion. And Kraft rolls. Plenty of time. Looking corner of the end zone and pumps it up. Intercepted, so nullified. Monta Posey with the interception in front of Sheets in the end zone. Timeout on the field. We have 6:15 remaining in regulation. After both teams put up 34 points in the first half, we get our first score of the second half as Nick Maddox just goes right up the gut for 15 yards. And now the Wonders with a 12-point advantage, but still a long way to go. And we all know anything can happen in this game.
No question about it. And here again, you'll see more than likely the Wonders won't kick it deep to try and keep it out of Gary Black's hands.
Jeff Sheets going to try to squib it. And he kicks it short, but he kicks it away from Black. Taking it about the 16-yard line. Posey out of bounds up near the 30.
Well, now you'll see, Randy, with 6 minutes to go, the Spiders don't have to get it all back in one play, but they are going to have to make something happen relatively quickly. 13 plays, 83 yards, but the telling stat there, 6 minutes and 28 seconds taken off the clock. And this, Randy, is the 2nd time that the Concord offense has touched the ball in the second half.
So you think that the Wonders had 15, 16 plays. The first drive took about 7 minutes off the clock, so they over a quarter in just 2 drives. And
tremendous.
But now the Spiders have got to get it back. You don't want to get it back. You got still plenty of time, as we said, 6:09 to go. And the way they scored in the first half, minute, 2 minutes, they're down the field. Play a little defense. You got all your time out.
Something's not right. They didn't get the coverage down there in the bottom of the field.
Here's the pass. Intercepted by the Wonders. Gray did not see Paul Allen, and Allen comes back the other way, breaking tackles, and he will go down inside the 20-yard line.
Down at the bottom of your picture, juncture, Kannapolis was scrambling to try and switch off and get Nick Maddox toward the middle of the field that time. They scrambled out of it at the last second, and then the pass right over the middle, right into Allen's hands, underthrown, and there he goes up the field, and that is a killer.
Well, if this lead holds up, once again, the visiting team will win again in this series. This will be, what, 5 years in a row?
Yeah, the home team hasn't won since Kannapolis did it back in '92.
Now Kannapolis content on just watching that 5:55 melt away. Tron Brown, left side, breaking tackles, goes to about the 13-yard line. Well, if the lead holds up, we will have at least a two-way tie for first place, co-champions for sure.
At halftime, I heard that East Durant was way out front of Sun Valley, so
make it tri-champions.
yeah.
And then they will have to go to the straws to determine the seedings and how they will represent the conference. As the Wonder fans, pretty delirious across the faraway.
I think, did Concord call a timeout? The clock has stopped, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would think they did. Kannapolis, they tried that, and they got penalized.
Yeah.
They were out of them, so. Concord just now getting one of the guys on the field, and we'll step away as well. Back we are. The Wonders, after intercepting deep in Spider territory at the 12-yard line, show second down and 6. Crabb with a toss to Maddox. Eludes one man, makes a cut, goes inside the 5. Tell you what, his cutbacks are just...
He doesn't look like he's hurting now, does he?
No, he's feeling no pain.
Guarantee you. Success will make you feel a whole lot better.
And as you said early in the game, he's only a junior. That's the scary part. He scored 2 touchdowns tonight, caught one, and rushed for one. 18 carries, 100 yards for Nick Maddox. Wonders first and goal at the 3-yard line. And William Kraft taking all the huddle clock he can. He snaps it with 3 seconds to go. Here's Tron Brown at the left side, and the Wonders are in the end zone again.
And what a huge play that interception by Paul Allen was.
Good teams take advantage of the turnovers, and they punch it in. And that will virtually guarantee a win for the Wonders as they have 32 points up on the board.
Even though the numbers are going to look like Nick Maddox just had a spectacular game, and don't get me wrong, he did, you still can't say enough about the game that William Kraft has had here tonight.
Yeah, he is the unsung hero. The cream rises to the top. The senior led him through and did the little things, and that adds up to the big things. That's why you're up 33-14, perhaps. We'll be back. In the second half, came out and controlled the football.
And that's exactly how you win the ball games. If you're concerned about what the other team can do to when they have the ball, don't let them have it. And Kannapolis just came out and executed almost to perfection and kept the ball and kept the ball and kept the ball in the second half.
And now if you're a defensive guy, this is only Concord's 10th offensive play of the second half. Toss will go to Jamie Scott. Looking, and we'll run the ball out very well. He'll have a first down. That will stop the clock as they move the chains out to the 38-yard line. Scott with over 100 yards. He's had a fine game, just hadn't had as many touches here in the second half.
Well, the thing for Concord, or rather for Kannapolis, is they can afford to give up some chunks of yardage. They just can't give up the quick score.
Great of the air again on the slant, in and out. Gary Black had it, dropped it. Or check it, it was not Black, it was Toby Steele. My apologies. Toby caught a key pass in the first half. Now the Spiders were up 14-7 at one time early in the second quarter of this game. The Wonders came roaring back late in the second half, and they've done all the scoring here in the second half of this ball game. 4 wideouts on 2nd and 10. Brett drops the exchange, picks it up, and will have to eat it. So the Spiders retain possession just barely. Really poor kind of sorting players out down here for Kannapolis.
And look back again, Randy, to the end of the first half where Kannapolis had gotten the big play that pushed them back across midfield. It looked like they weren't going to be able to score before halftime. Then they popped a long pass inside of 30 seconds to go, and that was really the momentum swing there.
And overcame one where they had scored a touchdown to Maddox from Allen because of a penalty in the same series. Here's Gray, loaded up, going deep, looking for far. It's tipped and intercepted. This is Rayvar Harris for the Wonders. He's got some room, gets a pretty nice block, and then tackles himself, and there's a late flag. They're going to get, I believe, Paul Allen for the Wonders for blocking in the back. So that'll come back. Here we see it again, Woody.
Take a look at it again, and you'll see here that in the position Farr's in, he's trying to play defensive back and knock it away, but Harris was able to get it on his fingertips and keep it coming up the field. There was the block that you saw the penalty called on. It's still going to be Kannapolis ball. The penalty's going to be on the run back.
Well, the Wonders now could just milk the clock here in the final 3:22 of this game, and
that's what they've been doing the whole second half.
Yeah, they've just been milking. I tell you, that cow should be dry by now. I'll tell you, they have controlled it. Don't forget, at the conclusion of the game, we will have the customary exchange of the victory bell. So every year, the visitor knows they're going to go to the other guy's place and win it. It seems like 5 years in a row now. So they'll do that exchange of the hardware. Kannapolis intends to keep it on the ground. Sean Brown.
Already, as good as these two teams are, it's not out of the question that they could see one another again somewhere down the road in the playoffs. But this is really going to set up a wild situation. I know a lot of fans looking at this on Saturday and Sunday already know what happened, but what they're going to do is go Friday night to the IHOP and draw between East Rowan, Concord, and Kannapolis to see who gets what seed.
Maybe we might go have pancakes with them and find out. I don't know if I can wait here.
Man.
So Kannapolis and Concord will end up the regular seasons both at 10-1. But one might be 1, one might be 2, one might be 3. You just never know. And the third seed is not having an advantageous position in the conference because they're going to have to go on the road the first week, I believe.
And I think whoever is the number 2 seed, if I was looking at the brackets correctly earlier, I had heard somewhere that whoever's the number 2 seed from the SBC would be in the bracket with Hickory and have to face them in round number 2.
Well, you might as well beat the best.
Well, you got to beat the best to be the best.
Number 1 team in the state, Concord ranked 2, Kannapolis 6. East ran up until the loss last week. Concord was 9th. Wonders keeping it on the ground. Maddox now has 118 yards on 19 carries. 108 yards on 19 carries as we go inside 2 minutes. Troy Brown carried it. As some of the Spider fans doing like the Wonder fans did last year, get their last rings in before they...
It's such a surprise that it's been so long since the home team has been able to win.
Crazy. And the amazing thing is 92, Jay Graham had a huge game, and the home team won that game.
12 first downs in the second half for the Wonders.
Kraft handing off. Sean Brown just keeping it next to best out to the 47-yard line. So they would have to run maybe one more play in the victory celebration that will last into the wee hours of the night, and the northern part of the county will begin, as if it hasn't already.
Concord looks like they're going to take, well, no, it's an equipment problem down there with Calvin Reed's helmet, I think.
The Spiders, hey, this is not the end of the, in the old days, this would be the end of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a new season starting, and everybody's undefeated beginning next week.
Well, don't forget back in, 91, Concord won the Bell game. Later on in the playoffs, the two teams met for the right to go to Chapel Hill. Kannapolis came back and won that one. So
that game probably was the number 1 hugeness scale. This is probably number 2 since 91 as far as the interest in Cabarrus County is concerned, the importance.
I haven't checked the old hugeness scale in a while.
Hugeness scale. We Just come up with something. We'll put that in the book. Oh, me. Inside 50 seconds to go. Probably the final running play of the game, and that's what the Wonders do. Just feed it Tron Brown. And the referees, officials in there to sort them out. Tron's going to have the Union pretty dirty before it's over with.
Well, just a fine game plan executed by the Wonders. Nice work by William Kraft and some hard running by Tron Brown and Nick Maddox. Put this one away for the Wonders.
A fine ball game. Wonders do not have to run another play. The celebration has begun across the fairway, and I saw the bucket. I don't know who got wet over there.
It had to be Bruce Hart. Now, he's down in there somewhere, and he's got to be soaking wet.
There he is. And the Wonders are winner of the 1997 Battle for the Bell, and they are at least them and Concord and Easter Webb co-champions of the SBC. They'll share that title. And now the customary exchange of the bell. It's going across the field right now.
There it is.
That one will be taken, looks like Raybar Harris for the Wonders. Number 19 will get a hold of it. He'll have some company, though.
All those guys going over there wanting to get a touch of that bell.
Who's that guy? Is that Steve? Over there, the guy with the...
Look at them. All the students are trying to climb on it and get a free ride back to the other side.
I don't think so. There's your final. We'll be back to Bailey Stadium in just a minute. If we're not back in 3 days, send money. We'll call for help. Huge throng of fans exiting Bailey Stadium, and somewhere down there in that melee is Steve Gann.
Thanks, guys. We're the happy coach, Bruce Hart, and to tell you what, Bruce, I've lost him. Boy, you took a bath out there. What a second half you guys played.
I know. Well, just a lot of hard work and good effort and good kids and a lot of good preparation by a lot of people this week. And, you know, they just played hard as a heck of a ball game, and some things just went our way, but our kids worked awfully hard for it, and so did our coaches. So.
Well, Bruce, you know you beat one of the best teams in the state of North Carolina. This should give you the momentum to go into the playoffs. I know this is the victory you're looking for all year.
Yeah, I think things like this can really help you, and, you know, you deal with a lot of things in the course of the year, and this is just kind of highlighted. I told the kids, I said, you could be sitting here tonight and playing somebody unknown. They bring about 20 people. I said, enjoy yourself down there tonight, because it's something you'll always remember. So I think they're having a good time over there.
Well, it sounds like having a big celebration. We'll let you go in a minute and do some celebrating. Bruce, you come into the game tonight, you could have, with the loss, you could have been third in the conference, but now it's a three-way tie. Do you know what the destiny is?
No, we'll just leave that in the hands of the right people, you know. I just try to coach. I don't try to control that. Whatever we have to do. I feel like that possibly, you know, we might get a seated position, but that's still up in the air, you know, and I'm kind of anxious to see how it goes tonight at the coin toss, and if East won, and then tomorrow at 2 o'clock I'll try to get a website somewhere and see what's going on.
Well, I know it's a little late for this, but the last time we heard, East was up 28-0 at the half, so it looks like a W for them.
Well, it looks like we're going to the IHOP tonight then. Okay.
So you're going to the International House of Pancakes. The coaches will draw for, not necessarily, you're a co-champion, but you guys will draw for the seeds or draw for the playoff berth, where you go.
Probably so. Earl Mason and Glenn Padgett is our conference president, and they'll conduct that, and we're just happy to be there, you know. And we told our kids this ball game tonight starts our playoff season, so whatever our destiny is, I think they'll come into practice Monday and feel good about themselves.
Scary moment out there. Nick Maddox went down, looked like a leg cramp, and it took him a long time to get back on his feet on the sideline. It took him a long time to get up, but when he come back, it looked like he was stronger than ever.
Yeah, he really did. He really bounced back. We've had some problems with that all year, so I guess I'm going to have to feed him bananas or potassium all week long. So he really plays so hard, though, and just you know, those things are going to happen. So.
Bruce, congratulations on the outstanding performance tonight.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, and we'll see you Wednesday night on Headliners.
Okay, I'll be there. Okay.
Okay, guys, back to you. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And as you see, Easy Smith, nothing to be ashamed of. What a great regular season these guys have. 10-1 as well. Back with some final numbers for you in just a moment. 33-14, the final score. The Wonders. There's William Crapp instrumental in the victory tonight, and hey, it's okay to smile, William. You can do that.
Absolutely, no doubt. He earned it tonight. He played a great game. Let's look at some of those final numbers we have for you here, and as they come up, you'll see some things that are a little bit surprising. 181, 130 on the ground, but look at Kannapolis, 137 through the air. We said coming in, Concord was the balanced team offensively. Kannapolis came out and really did the job tonight. You see 16 to 11 in first downs, 6 out of 9 passing. Of course, Kraft didn't throw all of those. The backs threw quite a few of those. 7 of 15 for Concord, but the 2 interceptions were very costly. 2 turnovers to 1, and 3 penalties for 40 yards for Kannapolis, 3 for 18 for Concord. But the big story was the way Kannapolis controlled the ball in the second half. They had 196 yards of total offense after halftime. Concord had only 57.
Unbelievable. Well, we have a half moon, and we're going to gear it up another notch next week as the playoffs of 97 begin. Once again, your final score, A.L. Brown of Kannapolis 33, Concord 14. For Woody Kane and Steve Gant, Randy, what they say. Thanks for being with us here this week from Bailey Stadium in Concord.